Good afternoon, dear students. Namaskar. You all are watching us on eVidya channel number 11 and also on our YouTube channel, that is NCRT Official, and I am Kusum Prasad. So dear students, are you ready to study? Yes, you all are ready to study and हम आपको बता देते हैं कि हम आज कौन सा विषय लेकर आए हैं. So dear students, this session is for English students and this session is for class 11 students, and the subject we are going to take is English. And what we are going to study in this English subject, it's a very interesting topic today, and the title is Creative Writing Skills. So what is creative writing skills? To tell this and to guide us to all our students, our today's expert is ma'am, Miss Rakhi Mishra ma'am. Welcome ma'am, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत. नमस्कार.
Namaskar.
Rakhi ma'am is PGT English from DAV Public School, CTA, Cuttack. So dear students, you can all participate in this session and you can send your feedback and your queries through our various mediums. So please note down, you can call us on our phone number, that is 8800440559, and you can also email us on our email ID, that is dth.class11@ciet.nic.in. And apart from this, you can also drop your messages, your queries, your question on our YouTube channel, that is NCRT Official. So dear students, before we start this session, we want to share a very important message regarding G20. We are proud that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leaders Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. A nation deeply committed to democracy and multilateralism, India G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in our history, as it seeks to play a very important role by finding pragmatic global solution for the well-being of all, and in doing so manifest the true spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. So dear students, now we move to our session, and as I earlier told that our today's session is for English and the class is 11th, and the title is Creative Writing Skills. So we move to our expert Rakhi ma'am. Ma'am, yes ma'am, namaskar, welcome ma'am. My very first question to you is, we are discussing on creative writing skills. Why not only writing?
Thank you, Kusum ma'am. First of all, I welcome all my young learners, enthusiastic learners, and all my viewers who have joined us today. So very apt question asked by Kusum ma'am here, that why creative writing and not writing skills? Yes, creative writing, because it invites lot of creativity from the children, from the writers. It enhances the writers' thinking skill, analytical skill, thinking logically, putting forth the views in a very logical manner. So it demands a lot of creativity. Through writing, through creative writing, we enhance the students' creative writing skill, right? We invite the students to develop their creativity by thinking logically, by putting the things in a proper, appropriate sequence. It also requires a lot of analysis, right? So it helps the children to develop their 21st century skills also. So that is why it is called as creative writing and not only writing skills. I think it makes it clear.
Yes ma'am. Now right. We begin this session, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So once again, welcome to all my children, all my students here. I'll not tell you what exactly we are doing here. I'll just show you a small video here. Just watch it.
पेंसिलों की दौड़ और जीत गई बॉन्डेड लेड वाली पेंसिल लटकाज.
Okay, okay. So now you tell me. I think you have guessed it.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am. This is advertisement.
Right, it is advertisement way back in 1970s or 80s, we used to see this Natraj pencil, right? It's a rare thing for the present generation to think that even advertisements for the pencils also was there, right? So very rightly guessed that today we are going to take the first short writing, that is advertisement. And note it, I have pronounced the word advertisement. It's not advertisement. So please note it. What is advertisement? What is advertisement? Definitely it is a kind of technique, right? It is a technique for what? It is a very effective and efficient technique. But for what? It is to derive, the word itself is derived from a Latin word. From the meaning itself you can make out that what it means. It is to turn the minds of somebody towards something. That means you are going to promote a product, you are going to promote a service or an idea through advertisement. But before that, my dear children, advertisement is a paid communication, right? And it invites a lot of creativity, so it's a creative process. And it requires a marketing, right? And it also requires media. So overall, if you see, advertisement has got so many aspects, but it is one of the most effective and efficient techniques. So very rightly pointed out here by the people that advertisement is basically a kind of a source, kind of technique which helps us to promote a product or a process, or we can say it promotes an idea or a service. Now, do you think advertisement is a new concept? Do you think advertisement is just of 21st century or 20th century? If you see the history of advertisement, you'll be astonished to find that it started way back in 15th century. Earlier we used to have the printed walls advertising the things, advertising about an event, right? Then gradually it moved on to print media kind of thing, and then now we see we have social media filled with advertisement. So this is how we see that advertisement is evolving, right? It is not a constant thing. In the next generation also, in the coming years also, you'll find so many different types of advertisements coming up, right? Okay, so here we say that it is to promote goods, services and ideas. But how do you reach to the people? There has to be somebody, right? So first it's you. Who is it? It's the advertiser. Suppose you want to advertise something. So you are the advertiser here. And how will you reach to the people? You need an agency. There is an ad agency. Then what ad agency needs? They need a media. Like you have print media, you have electronic media, you have social media. You just saw the advertisement of Natraj pencil. It was the electronic media which gave it the medium or the way to reach to the people about its promotion, right? And all these three parts, you can say all these three segments have to be working in unison. They have to work together. Advertiser cannot do anything without ad agency. Ad agency cannot do anything without the media. So all are basically interlinked. After knowing this, let me ask my learners that what are these that you see? These are some kind of advertisement, right? But we find a variety here. What are the varieties? How can we say that yes, they are of different types? They are basically newspaper advertisement. So today, in today's session, we are going to focus on only newspaper advertisement, right? But in newspaper advertisement also, we have, say, three categories. First, we have classified, then we have display, and third category is display classified. And our focus today will be on classified advertisement, right? So there is a basic difference between the three. Classified advertisements, as the name suggests, that they are classified, they are categorized, right? Display advertisements are basically to promote using lot of visuals, and they acquire lot of space in the newspaper, and a lot of section is devoted for that, and the kind is also different, right? Lot of visuals, it will be colorful, and it is not that economical, right? Whereas display classified will be a mixture of classified and display classified. So now we will talk about the different types of classified advertisement. As I said, classified advertisements are categorized, right? So when you say categorized, what does it mean? They will be put under different categories. Now, as per our requirement, right? So if you say that, suppose you are running a school, you are the manager of the school, and you want to recruit some people. One way is that you advertise giving lot of visuals of the school and lot of things, information, and you go for a bigger size of the advertisement, and that you can put under display advertisement. But when I say that you have to give it in classified advertisement, it will be categorized, right? You will send the requirement, you will send the advertisement to the respective classified column, and they will see where exactly it is to be put. So suppose situation vacant. So what is the purpose of situation vacant? This case that I have taken, that a school needs to recruit, this will be under which category? If you say under which type of advertisement? There is a vacancy, so we can say it is situation vacant, right? So this way I have put it properly for you so that you can refer it like situation vacant. What is the purpose? The purpose is this advertisement is written by an employer who is looking for the services of a person in his organization, right? Suppose I want to advertise, so I will be giving requirement. I will be mentioning all the requirements that I have. Situation wanted. Suppose you are an eligible candidate, you are looking for a job, you want a job, so you have to advertise in the newspaper, right? You are the job seeker. Fine. The next is for sale. Now for sale, suppose you have house, you want to sell off your house, you have to give it in the classified column, right? Because you want to sell it off, and it has to be, you can say the purpose is very clear that you have to sell off your house. How will you do it? You again have to approach to that classified column, right? And there it will be written giving the details of whatever property or whatever assets or office goods. Even sometimes we also advertise for vehicle. Even we do it for our property also. So for sale is mainly for house, property or vehicle, and it is written in an attempt to sell property, assets or office goods. Now at the same time, imagine you have a house, you are shifting to a new place, you want to rent out your house, right? Then under which category? It comes under to let category, right? So to let means on rent, basically on rent, simple way to understand it. So this is written by a person looking for a tenant for his or her property, right? It is very simple. You must have seen several times your to let board is hung outside the main gate of the people, right? It is to not to sell it off, but you want to give it on rent, right? Now another thing is that suppose you have reached to a new city, right? You are in search of an accommodation, right? So how you will put it? You can put it under accommodation wanted, and this is written by the ones looking for a place for accommodation. Another one which very interesting is matrimonials, and this matrimonials will in the session we'll see that how matrimonials are the ones which reflect our Indian culture also, right? You see the Indian matrimonials, you compare it with matrimonials of any other country, you can easily make out that yes, this is a reflection, this gives a reflection of our Indian culture, right? Our own typical terms are used in this, but who advertises for that? This is written by looking for prospective marriage candidate, right? Then again we have another type, that is missing or lost and found. Missing and lost and found. What is the, how is it different? When it is missing, we say missing of a person or a pet, right? And when we talk about lost and found, it is about a thing, right? An object. For example, you were traveling and you have lost your suitcase, right? You were traveling in train and you have lost your suitcase. So you can advertise it in the lost and found column, right? If your pet is missing, you can put it under missing. If you must have seen, even on television also, till date we have seen in DD1, in evening we can see that missing, the missing advertisements, or we can say they give information of the missing persons, right? And family members, they come and give the details of that, and that's how, if anybody finds, then they have to report to the particular place and they are also rewarded. So these things are to be kept in mind when we are writing these. Then we have, this is the summer season, the season to go around, visit, it has started, right? Vacation time has started. And when you must have seen several travels and tours agencies, they have already started advertising, right? What do? Here also we'll find, travels and tours also we'll find lot of agencies, they go for display advertisement, right? But we have also seen that travels and tours, they also advertise for under the classified column, under the classified advertisements, and they are the agencies to offer tour and holiday packages or services, including like hotel, travel booking, etc. They will all mention in the advertisement. Then we have educational advertisement, right? Suppose we want to start some tutorials, right? How will you reach to the people? You can put it under classified advertisement, right? And you will be mentioning what tutorials, what is the objective, who are the people who are eligible to join that, what is the fees, what is the duration, everything can be included in educational. Then comes business proposal. Suppose you want to invite some individuals, firms or individuals who wish to invest money in business, to invite or offer proposals, new business ideas for a partnership or collaboration. Then also we have a scope, right? Then we have obituaries. This is also very common one, obituaries. This is written to announce last rites and prayer services for the deceased people. And one of the last kinds is appeal. Now, during the time when we have some natural calamity and all, we have seen even advertisements under appeal column where people appeal for funds, right? Agencies appeal for funds or donations, including blood or organ donation for various reasons. So my dear learners, here you see so many different types. You have so much of scope to get your thing advertised in very limited words, as well as it is very, very economical, right? Okay. So, what are the necessary information? We saw what was the purpose. Now, if you want to go for the lost and found, or if you want to go for the situation vacant, here we have got the information. What are the important information that you need to put? Situation vacant. Suppose you want to advertise for your company. You are looking for a receptionist, or you are the manager of a school, and you are looking for a group of teachers to teach different classes, right? You have to advertise it. So there, what do we need to do? We have to specify the post. We have to specify the number of vacancies. Then we have to what are your expectations? What the qualification should be? Then what is the name? Who is advertising it, right? Then what should be the gender, if it is gender specific. Suppose you must have seen in receptionist. In receptionist case, you will find that it is specified, lady receptionist, right? But in some cases, it is not so. It is open to all genders. Then you have to mention about pay scale and perks. You have to mention how the people are going to apply, whether it is online or it is by post, how they are going to do everything. Your advertisement should be complete in all sense. You must be thinking that how we can do that. in such limited words, how our ma'am said that it should be economical, it should have very less number of words. Yes, for that also we have to keep in mind there are certain guidelines which I am going to talk about now. So these are different types of advertisements. I have shown you lost and found, then you have to let, then if you want to see vehicles for sale, packers and movers, all these are some samples given to you. You can find that if you want to sell a vehicle, what are the things that you must mention in that? If it is not mentioned, there will always be a question in the person's mind, in the public, that I don't know the information, I don't have this information, how will I go about it, how will I do it, right? So your information has to be complete. Then you have what should be the structure, how we can write a classified advertisement. You have seen, what have you seen? First you saw what are the different types, right? Then you saw that what are the necessary information that needs to be put in that. Then let us come now, what should it look like? What should be the structure of an advertisement? So this is just a sample. You see, what is the first thing that you find? What is the classified? Which classification? Which category? So situation vacant is the category mentioned there. So then you, in the title, after the title, you have to talk about the whole body, talks about the entire details that I showed you in the necessary information, right? Then about who is required, then what should be the salary, then application and contact details, everything needs to be mentioned, correct? Then we see another type. This is, see, flat for sale. I have given it a different look here. The same classified advertisement but with a different presentation. Fine. So here also everything is mentioned. Sale, it shows the title. Then what is some sale, specifications, then whom to contact if you want to buy this or you want to purchase this, right? Then we have another one. This is related to a yoga class, right? You are going to start the yoga class for the school children. You have specified the time, you have specified whether it is every day or weekdays, or what is the last date of registration. Then you can also see that whom to contact if you are interested. So these are some samples. These are some samples. It's not that you cannot modify it. Yes, you can modify it depending on your requirement. Now let us play a short game. I have given you the description. So is my audience ready to play with me? Right? So I have given you the information, the complete information. You will tell me what should be the befitting title for this. See the first one. Tell me, who is it? Tell me the first one. Alliance invited from a slim, beautiful, something it shows about, it should be working, then tall, dark, handsome boy working abroad. What is all about? Any guesses?
Ma'am, I think it's a matrimonial advertisement.
Oh, excellent. Yes. So here we can say, from the clues, from the hints given to you, that you have to match bride wanted. We can put it under bride wanted, right? See the second one. It says, lost my American Tourister bag while traveling to Jaipur, black colored. What is it describing, right? So now it has to be which one?
Ma'am, I think, yeah, ma'am, I think it should be in the category of lost and found.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. Then let me take you to the next one. My grandmother, a middle-aged woman, has crisscross of, it talks about grandmother. So why one person is talking about grandmother? Describing the grandmother.
Yes, ma'am. I think his grandmother is missing. This falls under the category of missing category, missing advertisement.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. The next one is Trivago offers packages to Shimla, Kullu Manali, Jammu Kashmir. What is all this?
Ma'am, this type of advertisement everybody loves, ma'am. Tour and travel advertisements, ma'am.
Right. Very good, very good. Need of or is looking for, like that. But here I have just given you a sample. I started with the word required. urgently. What is required? Lady receptionist. For what? So all the WH questions are being answered here. What is required? Who requires it? Where is it required? Then what are the essential qualifications? What are the qualifications? Candidates must be graduate, smart with excellent communication skills, soft spoken and computer literate. You see, this is the time, IT, time of information technology, and everybody is expected to be comfortable working on that. So computer literate, having experience. You are also preferring the people who are having some experience. So minimum of 2 years, salary negotiable. Here again I would say, again, this is not the standardized one. This is one option. Here, salary negotiable. You can say salary as per qualification, salary as per the school norms or as per the office norms, or salary as per the 7th pay commission, whatever, right? So here also it varies. But this is one example that I have given. And at your level, it is okay if you just write salary negotiable because you don't have much idea of salary and all. So write salary negotiable. Then working hours, yes, because it is the work of a receptionist, has an important role. So person applying should be very clear that I have to work for 10 hours, right? Free transport, as I said folks, so free transport facility is given. Apply with complete biodata to principal, ABC Senior Secondary School, Ashok Nagar, Bhopal, latest by 6 May 2023. For any queries, contact. So I think this makes a compact advertisement which a desirable candidate would like to apply for. I think this makes it clear to my children, to my learners, that how any kind of classified advertisement is to be processed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So with this, we come to the end of the first presentation, first part of our this. But these are some of the points that you have to always remember, that it has to have short phrases. You must have noticed there were no complete sentences. The entire thing was put in a box. The language was very simple and concise. Then you have to see it has to attract the listeners and readers' attention. Effective language, right? It has to have very appealing phrases. It's not that you start writing complete long sentences and the reader gets lost. No, it has to be to the point, very focused. Make it a point that you make it simple, but information has to be complete, right?
Yes.
I think with this information that I have given today, you all will be perfectly writing your advertisement and will be scoring full marks, because marks, again, according to the senior secondary school curriculum 2023-24, the mark distribution for advertisement is heading 1 mark, content 1 mark, expression. When I talk about expression, it means that they will check whether you have maintained all those points or not, whether you have avoided writing complete sentences, whether you have avoided writing unwanted words there which are not required, right? So this is very important for you all to keep in mind. So with this, we come to the end of part 1, short writing advertisement classified. Now moving on to my next part 2. Part 2, I'm going to take a long writing. But I am not going to tell again what long writing, which long writing. Let me see whether my audience, my viewers can guess or not. Can you see these two visuals? What do you get to know? Do you find something?
Yes, ma'am. I think two person are discussing or debating or trying to prove themselves right, ma'am.
Absolutely correct. So they are trying to, there is some kind of discussion, or you can say an argument is going on, and one is trying to prove one is trying to prove his or her point correct, right? From the visual, from their gesture, from their actions, you can make out that yes, they are trying to prove that yes, I am correct, I have said it correctly. So this happens when do we do it? When we debate, right? So when we debate, we use this approach, this kind of tone, this kind of gesture is used when we are debating on a particular issue, right? So, but you may think that why do we need to make the children understand what is debate? Definitely there is a purpose behind it. Why debate has been put in our curriculum? There's a reason. As we are, on one hand, we are talking about enhancing, developing 21st century skills in the children. But we have to provide some activities, we have to provide a platform to the children so that they get a scope to enhance, to develop these skills. So debate is basically to enhance or to develop the creative ability in the children. Make them think logically, to work in a team, and also it develops the critical thinking skill in the children. Secondly, it is an interesting and engaging for the students. You try it out in the class, you try it out at home. I think my learners would agree here with me that they must have debated at home on several occasions with their parents. Nobody can say, no, we have never debated. Mama says, don't take mobile, there is no need. You will definitely argue with her, you will have a long debate with her, justifying your point that yes, I am correct, needed, it is needed. And then somehow you prove it that yes, you are correct, you need a mobile, right? So debate you must have done, knowingly or unknowingly you must have discussed over a point and you must have been able to justify your point. It involves all students regardless of level. What does it mean? If you take a class scenario in the class, what happens? When you have a debate topic given by the teacher or students suggest that today we are going to have a debate, entire class gets involved. Everybody starts working on that, regardless of who understands more, who understands less, girl, boy, whatever. The whole class gets involved. It engages everyone, right? And in that process, what happens? The students develop their self-confidence. And it is very, very essential for this 21st century generation to have self-confidence. You have to move on in life, so you have to have self-confidence. Establish yourself with what you are saying. So my dear children, now the question comes, what is debate? What is debate? Debate is a very formal discussion or an argument on a topic on which people have different opinion. When it is having different opinion, then only it can be called as a debate. Otherwise, if you go neutral, it will become normal speech. It will be a kind of normal elocution, right? So debate has to have different opinion. The topic should be such, the discussion should be on such a topic which can be discussed from different point of view, right? Some agree, some don't agree.
Rakhi, yes ma'am.
Yes.
Rakhi ma'am, I want to know what is the difference between debate and a speech, ma'am?
Right. Again, I would say that you have asked a very appropriate question, because in class 11 we have debate writing as well as speech writing. So how is it different? As I said, that debate has to have two directions, one for, another against. Debate is over a topic which needs to be justified from one point of view, saying this is correct, another says no, this is not correct. So there will be always two oppositions, right? One says yes, I believe this, the other one says no, and both of them establish through their logic. Whereas in speech, a person talks about his or her viewpoints, ideas, and is neutral, right? You express your own views. You bring some topics from the real life and you discuss, you give some points on that, right? So it is basically, speech will have a neutral tone, whereas the debate will not have a neutral tone. It has to have either positive or negative. It has to have either for or against. I think that makes it clear, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And it has to have it is a persuasive manner. You see, of speaking, it has to be so persuasive. You have to prove it. You have to justify it to that an extent that you convert the views of another person or audience to your point of view. People start thinking your point of view to be the correct one. What you are saying is correct. If you are able to do that, then you are a successful debater, and you people must have seen several times on television that we have great debaters talking on some political issues, right? And they prove it. They prove it through evidences, right? I'm coming to that you have to have some evidences to prove what you are saying is correct. It should have either for or against the motion. A motion means the topic on which you are going to discuss, and on that you either speak for the motion, supporting it, or you are not supporting it, you are disagreeing, so you go against it, right? Now, what is the structure of debate? That means format. It has to have a salutation. The same goes with speech also. Speech also has salutation. Here, anything that is spoken, right? It is all included under speaking skills, right? So debate writing is you speak it. So who is there to listen to you? You have your audience with you, and if it sometimes you even have jury. So the very first thing is you have to address the jury. You have to address your audience properly, right? You have to introduce yourself as well as the topic. The topic either for or against. If you don't mention it in the introduction, then your debate that you are presenting is incomplete. It will not be understood by the audience or the jury which direction you have taken, whether you are supporting the motion or you are against the motion. So it has to be very, very clearly mentioned right at the introduction whether you are for the motion or against the motion, whether you are supporting, agreeing or disagreeing. Then comes your body. Now what do we have to write in body? Body has to contain some arguments, views, facts, elaborate thoughts, contradictions of opponents' arguments, questions. Here I would say that, see, there are two parties. One is for the motion, another is against the motion. The speaker comes, presents his views and goes. Now what the speaker said as for the motion, against would be preparing himself or herself to justify through his or her views, through facts, through concrete examples. You can bring your live examples, you can quote some articles, you can bring some data, but it has to be justified. It's not that you are saying, it has to be justified by the speaker to prove that what you are saying against this topic is absolutely correct, because you have so much of elaborated thoughts and facts available with you, right? And you have to contradict with the opponent. It's not that you support, half of the time you are supporting the speaker and half of the time you are talking about your. No, you have to completely contradict the opponent's arguments. Once this is completed, then again you have to reiterate and emphasize your point of view in the conclusion, just to draw the attention of the viewers, draw the attention of the listeners, draw the attention of the readers, right? My dear children, everything has to have such, especially debate, speech, we have to thank the audience in the end, right? Always remember that you end your debate, you end your speech by thanking the audience for their patient hearing, right? Because they are the people who finally say that yes, the points that were put forth were justified, were absolutely correct. So please take the audience in confidence at the beginning and then end by thanking the audience. So this is the basic structure of any debate. Now, as I said that you have to express your opinion. But how will you do it? When you are speaking, when you are writing, there are some expressions that must be included, because it is not simply a kind of long writing that should look like an essay. It is not. It is a debate. So through your expressions, such expressions, you can make it sound like a debate. If you want to say your opinion, how will you do it? You cannot say that this is this. You have to write, in my opinion, or as far as I am concerned, or I am convinced that, or without a doubt, I think this should be like this, or I believe. So you are giving your opinion, right? If you are expressing your disagreement, as it is a debate, you may not agree. So how will you express it in a debate? All these expressions must be included when you are writing the debate. It's not that you are writing so it has to be presented, right? You have to make your writing in such a way that when the readers are reading it, they feel as if, yeah, it is a discussion going on. It is something that my writer, that the person who has written this debate is communicating to me through language, right? So when you disagree, you would say, I don't think, or I don't agree, I would prefer. This has to be done because your opponent should understand that you have negated this particular point of the speaker, of the opponent, right? Of the one who said just opposite to what you have said, either for or against, right? It has to be justified through your point. But how will you put it? Through these expressions. These expressions will connect with what you want to say and in what manner you want to say. For example, if you want to oppose, you say the problem with your point of view is that. Instead of saying what you said is absolutely wrong, you cannot do that. You have to maintain a tone there, and the very polite tone you can say that the problem with your point of view is that. You must have seen several debaters, they start banging and all that. That shows their kind of conviction. They want to prove and justify themselves on the podium, right? Now, when it comes to giving and explaining reasons, you have justified, you have said, yes, I don't believe this. But what is the point? Where are you explaining the reason? So to explain the reason, again, there are some expressions that can be very well used by the students to write the debate or to present the debate. To debate, right? So you may say, the reason why I said this, or for this reason I quoted this, right? Or many people think, or allowing for the fact that, or when you consider that. So you have to explain why you have put one point, right? Without explaining, without giving reasons, nobody is going to accept your point. So through expressions, you have to justify what you said, what reason you gave is absolutely correct. Now, these are some of the points that you have to maintain. You have to remember. What are the points? The very first thing is understanding the subject. Suppose you get a topic. You have to do research on that. Now, some of you may say that in the examination hall, how can we do research? We have to think. How will we get the material to do research? No, my dear children, for making yourself expert in writing debate or speech or anything for that matter, any long question, you need to read also. You need to read a lot and have so much of material collected with you. You should have that much of exposure. Expose yourself. Have a proper study on various topics. You divide, right? The class, you people can do that. Okay, these many group of children, we will divide, we will do on history, some topics. We'll take some political issues. We'll take some health issues. We'll take some social issues. See, the class itself becomes a pool of ideas, right? So it is you people who will think that how we can do it in the class when you are preparing yourself for the exam. It's not in a day that you will start researching. It is a long process. So understanding the subject, do thorough research on the topic. In examination hall, what will you do? You get a topic, think on that, give proper thought, think of the ideas, jot down somewhere, and then you think whether you are on the right track. If you think you are on the right track, you put them in a logical manner, right? Then the structure of the whole debate should be well organized with a concise introduction. As I said in the format, your introduction should be there, your main body should be there, and your conclusion should be there. If you don't follow, if you don't have a proper flow, if it is not organized properly, then perhaps you will get lost, the readers will get lost, the listeners will get lost when you are presenting your debate. So the introduction should just talk about what your topic is, who you are, what is the purpose, on what occasion, if it is given to you, or if it is appropriate there to mention about the occasion, right? So introduction, then it should describe subject and provide background information. Don't just start discussing or giving the thoughts or giving your viewpoints. Create some kind of background for it. Create a floor for the people to start thinking that you are going to put forth these points. You are going to speak on this point, right? Okay. Then give them proof. Your audience, your readers are not going to accept what you are saying unless you give them proof. You have to have very strong, concrete examples, statistics, opinion, examples from the real world, evidences, assertion with strong applicable evidence such as statistics, professional opinion, and examples need to be given when you are writing a debate. Otherwise, it will not be, you cannot prove yourself, you cannot justify yourself. Then it has to have a logical flow, right? It has to have a logical flow means when you start with the introduction, you talk about the first point, then go to the, it has to have a link with the second, then with the third, then with the fourth. Every point has to have a logical sequence. It's not that you talk about one, then you bring something which has got no link. No, that approach is not advisable. There has to be a logical sequence, a sense also. When you are reading or when you are listening, you can understand that yes, after this, this person said this. This makes a logical sense. Objectivity, offer a fair and impartial analysis. Persuasion. Persuasion means you persuade your audience to share your point of view. It has to be so convincing, so persuasive in nature. It has to have, you have to persuade your audience to that an extent that they finally agree. If yes, my speaker said this, this is correct. I think this is correct and this should be done. But this is what we have to remember in debate. Otherwise, it is not a debate. It becomes a speech. As madam asked me that what is the difference between a speech and your debate. This is one major point here, that it has to persuade audience to share your point of view, to get convinced with what you are saying. Use of clear and concise language, easy to understand. Don't use such high sounding words which are not comprehensible or which are not understood by your speaker or reader. Your message should reach to the audience, your message should reach to the readers, but it should not be having very complicated words, right? Keep it simple and clear. Referencing. As I said, properly cite any source you use in your debate to demonstrate credibility. Very, very important point here. Referencing. Please note it that you put a point, you mention one justification there, you prove your point there, but how? How we are going to be convinced? We are going to be convinced only when you give a proper reference to a particular source. Either you have collected it from some journal, from some interview, from some newspaper, anywhere. That has to be cited, that has to be mentioned. So these are the major points that we all have to remember when we are writing the debate. And now it's time for all of us to see what the marking scheme is. When you are going to write, what things you have to maintain. Mention this. See, first point is format. Format is a 1 mark. How do you get to know what is the format? As I have already told, introduction, you introduce yourself, you introduce the topic, but first and foremost is you greet your audience, you greet your jury members, and then you come to the point. Mention mention what is the topic and what is your say there, whether you want to say for the motion or you are against the motion. Then you have the content. Content includes how you are going to present all the points, right? It has to have logical sequence, it has to have appropriate words. Wherever you are giving reference, mention that. All those points will be included in content. But at the same time, your content will be assessed based on your expression, whether you have used appropriate words, whether your sentence structure is correct or not, whether grammatically correct or not, whether you have used correct spelling or not, whether your arrangement of ideas that you have put, that is properly ordered or not, right? All these things will be included in your included in 5 marks, which is the total mark of the question. Now, I have taken one question for you. To end our session, I have taken one question. The question is, you are Aniket or Ankita of Kendriya Vidyalaya Sector 1, Faridabad. You have registered your name for the debate competition to be organized on World Health Day by the literary club of your school. The topic for the same is adventure sports should be made integral part of the school curriculum. Draft the debate in about 120 to 150 words. Note here, word limit is there. Normally when we go for public speaking, public debates and all, nobody talks about word limit, but they talk about duration. But when you are writing it for the examination purpose, there has to be a strict rule to be followed, that you have to write it within 150 words. It may go up to extra 10 words, but not that 150 words is written in 300 words. No. Then another thing is that you have to see the topic, who is presenting it and on what occasion. As I said, it will be mentioned. So topic is adventure sports should be made an integral part of the school curriculum. Let me give you some hints so that now after the session you can start thinking on this topic. The topic is adventure sports. Now it's summer vacation time. I am sure many of you would be thinking that you will go for some trip somewhere which offers lot of adventure sports, right? So you think that why not? Why shouldn't we have it in our school curriculum? It has got no place. So why shouldn't it invite sports department should even introduce this adventure sports also in the school curriculum? But some of you think that no, it is not correct. It shouldn't be there. So if you say yes, it should be. So according to the topic, you can say that adventure sports, if you are for the motion, you will say it teaches how to take challenges in life. If you can also say that yes, it tests your endurance, it builds stamina, confidence and willpower. It also helps you to develop the leadership qualities and work in a team. It also sensitizes you to the importance of ecological balance, help beat stress and boredom. You ask those people who go for adventure sports, the very first statement they make is that yes, it is one such activity which relieves us from our stress and boredom, right? But these are just suggestive points. And why have I given you? What I have done here is exactly what you people are expected to do when you get the question in exam. The moment you get the question in exam, in the question it is written either for or against, right? So you can take either for or against. You don't have to write both. But if you are taking for, you cannot bring any question which negates it, which puts it against the motion, right? First jot down all these points, and this is not the complete list. That is why I have put ... so that this list continues. And for jotting down these points, what do you have to do? You have to give proper thought to the question. Spend some time when you get this question in the exam or
Yes.
any time.
Yes, Rakhi ma'am, now it's time to wind up the session.
Right. So we just, I would like to conclude by saying that whenever you have a topic to be written as a debate, make sure that you have two sides, one for and against, give a thought, draft it using all the expressions which we have used which we have discussed in our presentation. So with this, I end my presentation with this quote: for good ideas and true innovation, you need human interaction, conflict, argument, and debate. Only then new ideas are generated and true innovation takes place. So with this, my presentation is over. Thank you so much, all my viewers.
Thank you so much, Rakhi Mishra ma'am. Thank you for guiding our students and learners. It was very interesting session. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
And dear students and learners, before winding this session, we want to share a very important piece of information regarding NCERT textbooks. NCERT textbooks for 2023-24 are available throughout the country. These textbooks may be purchased directly from NCERT sale counters located at New Delhi, Bengaluru, Ahmedabad, Kolkata and Guwahati. And these sales counters will be functional on all the weekdays including gazetted holidays, Saturdays, Sundays from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. And you may also place order for the books online from the website ncertbooks.ncert.gov.in. And these books will be delivered at your doorstep with no delivery charges. And if you want the soft copy of the books in PDF version, you can also download for free from NCERT, Diksha and ePathshala website and mobile app. So dear students and learners, please visit the website ncert.nic.in to know more about the authorized vendors. So आज का जो हमारा ये सेशन था इंग्लिश का, और आपको उम्मीद है कि आपको ये पसंद आया होगा। हम चाहते हैं कि आप अपने फीडबैक, अपनी क्वेरीज हम तक ज़रूर पहुंचाएं, और हम बता देते हैं हमारा अगला सेशन कौन सा है। तो कुछ ही पलों के बाद हम हाजिर होंगे फिर से एक नया सत्र लेकर उर्दू का क्लास 12 के स्टूडेंट्स के लिए। तो तब तक के लिए हमें दीजिए इजाज़त। नमस्कार।